Hello guys, this is my submission video for ESA Winter about the game Lego Batman 1, Lego Batman the video game. I will be submitting the Win and Free Play category. This category is like the new Game Plus category from this game. This game is divided into two parts. You have the hero missions and the villain missions, and the free play category is that you can choose between a certain amount of characters at the beginning, and you can switch those characters all the time, so you can make certain skips and tricks that are normally possible in the story mission, like the intended way. But with the free play option available, you can do these skips. I did a little setup prior to this run, and what I did is I selected, or I moved the cursor to the corresponding level I want to start at. Like now I'm at 4-3, and I did this with all the other 3 chapters, so I have the fastest way. I don't have to select the level at the beginning of each chapter. I will explain every glitch and skip I'll do during the run, but I like to explain one skip before the run, and it is SSJ, which stands for Slam Jump Switching. And what this is, if you're playing with the glide suit Batman, you can glide, slam, grand slam and switch characters and repeat this step all the time, and this allows you to gain infinite amount of height and also distance. And you're seeing this right when I start the first level. I will make use of this glitch immediately. And I think now I have everything explained, so we can start the run. And like I said, I explain everything I do. So I start with Poison Ivy. I select Poison Ivy, the other character get assigned to me from the computer. And as soon as it starts, I switch to Slam the glide suit Batman, and this was SSJ. And next I drop in my second player and drop him out immediately, because you need 2 players to activate this switch here. So if I SSJ up there, which like I said stands for slam switch jumping, I can get my second player up there immediately, and I can activate both levers without solving the whole puzzle. Next you need a mind control character, which we have a few of, and Scarecrow is one of them, and we need him to activate this door so we can activate the next door there. From here on out I will start an SSJ again to gain a really good amount of height, and with that we can fly over invisible walls and also over some certain collisions, and we drop down. We can fly over invisible walls like this, and I missed the loading zone there. It's really the loading zone is really big. You have to be really precise to miss it. So this is bad from my end. But here you can see I switch down, and now there's toxic gas where I can't stand. I can only stand or walk through with certain characters. And Mr. Freeze is one of them, or Joker, and here I can SSJ up into the next loading zone and walk to the next transition point, and we're already at the boss room of this level. I will switch to Joker immediately, because if you jump and shoot his 2 guns, it destroys everything real quick. And the goal of this room is to activate all the 3 levers or switches here. Okay, let's steal off these guys real quick. And we need another mind control guy here to push the statue and to build the generator. I positioned myself on top of the switch, so as soon as it can get pressed, it will get pressed, and I can finish this level as quick as possible. And that's already the first level done. So I have to go back to Arkham Asylum, and I can continue with the next level, which will feature the first of a few BRC, which stands for Veteran Clips. Turns out that if you're standing on a certain position with Batman or Robin and you pull out your Batarang, you can clip through the ground and into the wall. And I attempt to do this in this level in the room 1. If I don't get it, there's a quick backup. So I have to stand between those two tanks, and now I'm out of bounds. And you can I can glide here, and also another benefit is if I switch characters, I get teleported upwards to solid ground, and this allows me to skip the whole puzzle of the first room. The next thing I do is I SJ over the whole part here, and I stand on the blue ground here and try another veteran clip, which allows me to clip right through the gate. And from here on out, it's like really simple. I SSJ over everything, and the developers forgot to put a wall up there over the gate you have to go through. And here I do an SSJ over everything again. And I stand on the switch. Mind control. This guy with the question mark above his head, and you in the background you see the switches. It's blue, green, yellow and red, and I have to activate the switches in the right order. And with that, the level is also finished. Also a really quick level. And like always, like I said, you have to go back to Arkham Asylum after each level in free play. The next level will be 4-1. There is a SSJ right in the beginning. Where you can, there's a certain amount or a certain part in the level, the first room, where the floor, the roof has no collision. So I use that to get out of bounds here. Here I'm out of bounds, and now I can just fly to the next loading zone. And I have to be careful not to clip him back into collision. And with another well-timed SSJ, I can get into the loading zone early without solving any of the problems. Here we see different characters, so Penguin can use his penguin bombs to destroy metal objects, and you have certain characters which are considered strong characters or heavy characters, with which you can lift certain objects. Another small optimization I do here is I switch to the bomb suit Batman, because bomb suit Batman can't be damaged with bullets, and I use that to build objects so I can build them without stopping because of the damage. And the next level is already done, and we're almost a third way through the game, or through this category. And now it's 4-4. We start here again with Mrs. J, but you can go because there is no ceiling here or no roof. You can skip the puzzle we normally have to solve and activate the loading zone. And this is right now the only level or the only room in the whole game or in the villain category we can't skip. We have to solve this puzzle, so we can't get out of bounds anywhere here. But thank God it's a really quick room, so we only have to build those two generators. Here we just SSJ over everything again and fly to the end of the next room. Be careful because there are a lot of invisible walls you have to avoid. And there's no collision in this door. And this room we can't skip entirely, we can skip part of it. So we have to use our mind control guy to mind control this person there, pull the lever, and we have to build a robot here. So I position myself here right on the yellow switch because it's yellow, red, green, it's always the same order. So I stand on the yellow switch so it gets pressed immediately, and this allows us to build the next part of the robot. I use my bomb here to destroy both sides really quick, and I try not to get hit by any cops. And next we need a person or a character who can walk to the toxic waste, so we can get to this lever, to this switch, and like before I switch characters to the bomb suit, the demolition suit, Batman, so I can build everything. And here I place a bomb during the cutscene, and normally the intended way to play this level is you have to use the robot that you built to destroy the generators, but it turns out you can use the ground slam from the glide suit and also the bombs from the bomb suit to destroy the red pillars here. And once you destroyed all the 4 or the 8 red pillars, the level end triggers. And also worth to mention is that the 4th chapter is the only chapter without any vehicle levels, so there's normally 1 vehicle level in each chapter besides the 4th chapter, which makes this category really nice because the vehicle levels are really annoying. And in the story mode you have to make a really big detour to destroy the first door, but in free play we can just use Penguin or Bomb Suit Batman to destroy this gate, and we don't have to deal with this room. We can also SSJ over everything and into the next loading zone, and there are luckily a lot of rooms are loaded without the transition you have to go through normally. And here, like prior, we skip everything and fly over everything here, so we don't have to destroy those lasers and activate some switches. And we can go right into the transition point, and here also we fly over the gate or over the treasure, so we land inside the level end trigger. And now we have already finished the first chapter of this game, or of this category, the first episode. So next will be penguins. All those levels were Riddler's levels, and now we are in Penguin, in the level of Penguin. And we had, as a fun trivial fact, we had another method to get not infinite amount of height, but a really lot of height, and this was freeze fly, and it worked like freezing Batman with the glide suit and switching to Joker and electrocute him, and this gained also a lot of height, but now we can SSJ, and this was the first trick that was discovered or implemented to skip the whole first part of this level. And this is a rather new glitch or skip that I personally found. So you can glitch behind this penguin, which allow you to skip most of the all of the second room. And this is the slide. We like to go for the swag kit, which means we select all the slalom gates, but didn't go for it now. It only loses like 3 seconds. And right now we're already in the boss room. You want to start this room with, or you want to play this level with Scarecrow selected. It's possible without Scarecrow, it loses a little bit of time if you don't have Scarecrow. Luckily I have him right now. And the reason why we want Scarecrow is he has a really fast lever pull animation, and that's used because there are 2 levers up there which you normally have to use both characters to activate both levers, but because of the fast lever pull animation of Scarecrow, it's possible to do this with only one character. And now all the generators are activated and we can pull the levers. So I will SSJ up to the levers and switch to Scarecrow, and you see how fast this lever pull animation really is. So it's really quick. And another benefit is right now I have Scarecrow selected as one of my characters, and this allows me to set up the next glitch of this run. So right now you can see I don't have Scarecrow. It's rather unusual. Normally you always have one of the characters you end the level with, but that's not a huge deal. We can just wait a little bit, and now I have Scarecrow here. I will switch back. Now Scarecrow is my walk a little bit away. Okay, Scarecrow now is my second player, so it can't be switched. And this is important because we need the penguin minion here. And we have the penguin minion and we have Scarecrow now. We need Scarecrow for another lever pull animation, and the penguin minion you see later why we need him. I will SJ over everything onto this roof here, and from here on out it's straightforward over onto this roof. And you may wonder why I don't SJ all the time. The reason is you have a little bit of downwards momentum every time you do an SSJ, so it's not beneficial to SSJ. It's faster to walk than to SSJ. And here we can SSJ right to the top where you have to go, and we can use the penguin minion to get through this gate. The old way was to get out of bounds. Okay, this never happened before. Doesn't matter because the bomb explodes and this triggers the end of the level. So yeah, this trick was found by Omega Fallon. The flight from the top to the end of the room was found by me, and Omega Fallon did this with the penguin minion to skip most of the level, or to skip the out of bounds. And next is 5-4 with 2 really important skips. We have room 1 skip here. It saves a good amount of time. So in this level they did a really good job of putting invisible walls everywhere on collision, but they missed a little bit here, so I can skip first room and SSJ to the top. And here we need another strong character. And we used to build the crocodile here, but turns out that you can just SSJ or the freeze flight like we used to do it a couple of weeks ago, and we can skip everything here. And can SSJ over the invisible wall and all the kill planes. Saves like almost a minute. Here we can go right into this loading zone, and from here on out we can just SSJ onto the next transition point. This is also a really quick room. We could SSJ over there or also double jump and activate the switch. Next up is a glitch I found. So if you use penguin bombs, we can activate the second switch without the second player activating them. Normally we have to have a second player there that stands on the switch, but the penguin bomb does the same thing for us. And here on out I will kill all the enemies, most of the enemies, until I build the bomb, because you need the bomb to blow up this gate so Catwoman will get freed. But there's no way to activate anything like the end of the game early. We need to build this bomb. And next up is 5-1. And there is a certain glitch which would allow us to save a few seconds, but so precise it's, in my opinion, not worth going for it. And like I said, it only saves 2 seconds or 5 seconds if even, and yeah, it's not worth going for it right now. Here we don't have to kill everybody, but I do it because it makes everything easier. And we have to drive the police truck onto this switch at the bottom, so the gate will open, and we could actually skip this by a BRC or veteran clip into the gate, which is really precise, and this would activate the next loading zone into this room. But this room is straightforward, so use just characters to get us across to this part the fastest, which is Poison Ivy, and Glides of Batman for the rest. Here we land onto the top of this crane thing, and I kill everybody here. So I can build the satellite dish, because satellite dish is what ends this level. And with that we have already finished this level, and we're going to the first vehicle level of this run, which will be 5-2. If you're wondering why I take such a strange route, it's because left-right movement is a little bit faster in this game on the overworld and the level select screen than up and down, and we try to make the most of this. So first I have to destroy this turret, and free play really breaks this level, because normally you have to select certain, or you have to destroy certain objects to collect missiles, but we have Robin here, which has always a bomb or a torpedo active. Also, an interesting glitch here is that you can shoot through the walls, and it may hurt that I pressed the switch but didn't activate it. This was because I had the crosshairs active, so if you have the crosshairs active or you drive into the light and you press the switch at the same time, it won't trigger. And it's already the boss fight this level, and this front target I have to hit is really specific. You have to have the right distance from it to actually trigger it, but it's not that bad if you know what you're doing. And to finish this level you need the crosshairs active, so the AI shoots at us, and if you drive by the boat like not too far away, the auto aim of the game will target the boat and destroy it for us. And now we have finished the 5th chapter, Penguin chapter also, and the last chapter, 6th chapter is Jock's chapter, which is in my opinion one of the better ones. And in this chapter we actually start with the first level, so it starts with 6-1. Normally a really boring and also hard level, but in free play we can SSJ over the whole level. So like I said, I don't SSJ or anything, because every time I do an SJ I have a couple of frames of downwards momentum, and I try to avoid those. And here we normally would have to do a whole puzzle and activate some switches and some generators, but turns out if you SJ high enough, you can see that the collision for the rocks end at a certain point, and we can activate the next part of the level, the next loading zone early, without destroying those bombs or those rocks. And this level is the only known level which has a level end trigger, which lets us skip a boss fight. So if you drop down here, we can end the level without the boss fight, and that's unique. Normally we have to do a boss fight in each hero mission, and this is the only level in the villain episodes which has a real boss fight, but we can skip it, thankfully. And next is 6-4, which has an interesting glitch right at the end, which was found by Craig Bagel 001, I think it's his name. First, we'll do an SSJ to gain a lot of height. Should be more or less enough. And at the end we saw a bridge, and that's where we're aiming at. So we try to get a good angle here. A little bit low. And the gate will open. This means we activated the loading zone. And here we fly over the SSJ over the fire barrier, and we hope for motorcycles early didn't get it. Saves, if you get them early, we save a couple of seconds. And here they did a really poor job with the collision, so we can walk through the gate there and activate the next room also early. And here is a long stretch. For the story we would have to build a robot from the present box there, but it turns out you can ground slam, which I found this door, this gate, to activate the boss fight. And if you send it a certain spot, right here, it's possible to ride the truck here, the trailer. So I missed it, which loses like 10 seconds. It's not a huge deal. So it's possible to ride this the trailer there and to destroy the other trailers a little bit faster. Turns out you can ground slam those as well, like this, and this will end the boss fight really quick. And there are only 3 levels left. One of those is a vehicle level, and it's the last level in the game, which I play. Depends on the route if it's the last level or not. But next is the last intended level of the game, which is set up all the traps from the Joker. And also, like in every level, SSJ really breaks this level, because you can get right to the transition point there and SSJ onto here. This level is really just SSJ to all the places you have to go. And we need a Joker here, because you can activate those generators, and this opens the gate. And here we use another penguin bomb to activate the second switch, so you don't have to rely on the second player. And also on this side. And like earlier, I will switch back to the bomb suit Batman to not get distracted when they're shooting me. Because if they hit me, I will get distracted, but the shots won't do anything if I have the bomb suit activated. And next up will be 6-3, which is the last real level besides the vehicle levels, and it's a really interesting one. Also a really fun one to play if you really play on a higher skill level. It's really technical, and if you pull it off, it feels really amazing. So first we'll switch again to Flight Batman, to SSJ over everything, and then we have to navigate blindly out of bounds until the next area loads, and we can fly from the backside into the loading zone. Here we switch to Mr. Freeze, switch back, and the reason why we switch to Mr. Freeze is because the AI can trigger a cutscene, which we like to avoid, and with that we avoided this cutscene, which loses like a couple of seconds. And here we try to fall out of bounds into the next loading zone, and from here on out we know that the level ends if we hit the right side behind this wall. And with that we have already finished this level. It's a really technical level, but a really fun one to execute. And Next up is the last level, which is a flight level, a vehicle level. And there are no skips, no nothing in this level, which makes it really boring. We're desperately looking for a skip here as well, but so far without success. So first we have to grab a bomb here to destroy this turret here. And the bombs are really finicky, you can, like, everything can destroy them, and also they behave really strange. And we have to hit the turret there, so those fans get destroyed. Next up, switch to Scarecrow's biplane, because you need Scarecrow bombs or Scarecrow torpedoes to destroy or to distract this turret here. So now we have torpedoes so we can shoot at this turret. This will disturb the turret so it attacks the barrier by itself. And we can't destroy this turret any other way. Next there is a wall up here that we have to shoot at a certain amount of times. So get destroyed. And we use this bomb here to destroy this wall. Thankfully this wall is really big, so it's a big target. And we're already at the last boss fight. This boss fight, we need 2 bombs and 2 Scarecrow torpedoes. So we get the first bomb and destroy this turret here. We get back and the bomb will... doesn't matter what's on the ground, everything will destroy this bomb, so it's really hard to control this bomb. Okay, so I've destroyed both of the generator things, so now I can shoot the turret, which the police helicopter will attack and destroy for us. And once both those turrets are destroyed, we can actually attack the police helicopter. So we try to destroy it as quickly as possible, obviously. And once the screen fades to black, good time, so time. I think overall this run will take around 35 to 40 minutes, depending on the overall execution, but longer than 30 minutes it's definitely not going to take. And yeah, this is everything I think I have to say right now about League Batman 1 Win Free Play. I hope you enjoyed this submission video, this showcase video, and yeah, have a nice day. Bye!